Alright, ladies and gentlemen, how are we doing today? NBZ here, bringing you a game against someone by the name of Xenogard from my stream. And he is running a Hail team. As you can clearly see, he does have some relatively interesting things, but lots of steals and Jellicent there, which tend to go well on a Hail team, and the obvious Mammothswine. I'm running Jellicent, Heatran, Core with 4 offensive guys, because that's how I roll. Jellicent and Heatran do the business, and then the offensive dudes take care of the rest. So, obviously, Abomasnow is going to be his lead because he sees no weather on my side, and it's beneficial for him to just get the weather up. And I actually decided to lead with Jellicent. I'm not quite sure why I did that, but it's obviously immediately threatened by the Woodhammer. Now, the problem is I, for some reason, always forget Abomasnow has Woodhammer, and this really plays to my disadvantage here, because not only do I get hit by the Woodhammer, but second of all, my Will-O-Wisp is actually going to end up missing. You don't see that until just about now, but there you go, Will-O-Wisp does miss, and that really puts me in a bad footing, because basically I knew that the Abomasnow was going to be physically based, but I just forgot Woodhammer even was a move, and that kind of hurt me a lot. It would have been nice to get the Will-O-Wisp off, because then his Abomasnow would have been pretty much crippled for the entire rest of the game, but now, as we can see, he's getting away scot-free, and I'm going to have to switch out, because I do not want to take another one. Now, he's going to go out to Jellicent for some reason. I guess he didn't want to kill me with Woodhammer, or he didn't want to be trapped on Woodhammer while I switched to Heatran and got rocks up for free, which works out, I guess, for him, because Jellicent is generally better against Heatran. I'm not too afraid of it, though, simply because I'm specially defensive, so I will not be able to be burnt by Scald because I'm a fire type, and Scalds generally won't do much in the first place. And seeing as I do have the opportunity to get this Jellicent Toxic, I'm going to do it straight away, because Toxic is generally the best status to have on Jellicent. It's a walling, defensive, bulky thing, so that's the best thing I felt I could do to it, which is fantastic. So he's actually going to Shadow Ball, predicting me to switch out, because he didn't think I would stay in to take a water move. But as I said before, I really don't mind Scald, because a special defensive Heatran can take Scald very, very easily. It's one of those brilliant things about Heatran. It doesn't really fear sort of Scald at all, which is great. It's great. He's going to switch out to his own Heatran though now, and I guess that I decided to sort of Stealth Rock here, because after Toxic, Stealth Rock is the next natural progression, and getting them up in the early game is definitely beneficial, especially when he has a Hail team, and he's not running a Spinner, I don't think, so it's definitely going to hurt him a lot having that Stealth Rock on the field. I'm glad I got it up and sort of lends to my benefit. Now, I kind of predicted him to go for Stealth Rock here. What I really should have done is used Protect, because my Heatran does have Protect, and I kind of suspected he would probably just go for an offensive move in the form of Earth Power, because he can clearly see that I was a defensive slower than him. He got buffeted by the Sandstorm, the Hailstorm first, so he could see that he was faster than me, and that kind of works into his favor. But I'm going to switch in Salamence here, and I Earthquake, and I'm like, fuck, he has Balloon! I didn't pay attention, and that's bad. Terrible. The thing here, though, is that I'm not actually Scarfed. I'm Expert Belt Salamence, and he doesn't know that. So I actually decided to switch out. I could break his Balloon with any move, but I don't want to go for it, simply because I don't want to reveal that I'm not Choice Scarfed. I want to play that into my favor, sort of help me bluff later on, perhaps, just keeping that information and making him think that I am Scarfed, whereas I'm Expert Belt. So I go into Gyarados because I know I can take any hit. If he wants to predict my switch and go for an Earth Power, I'll obviously still dodge it, and if he wants to go for a Fire move, I resist it perfectly, so it makes no real difference what he goes for. The only thing that kind of hurts me is taking Stealth Rock's damage on the switch in, but in comes Jellicent, and I go for a Stone Edge. This is a Choice Banded Gyarados, so I'm going to land a heavy hit, and it's actually a critical hit, which is going to be able to take the Jellicent out. Now, he was kind of saying that that mattered a significant amount. I don't think it mattered so much, simply because I'm Choice Banded. It would have been a clean 2-hit KO. Obviously, a crit takes it out in one shot, meaning that it would have been a 2-hit KO, and Toxic obviously would have played into that as well, so it wouldn't have made a major difference. He could have potentially switched out, wanting to save Jellicent after the first hit, but nothing on his team really likes taking his Choice Banded Stone Edge, barring the Magnezone, and even then I have ways to deal with the Magnezone switching anyway, so whatever perspective you look at it, it didn't make that much of a difference. But in comes Abomasnow. Woodhammer is the obvious move of choice here, so I'm going to go straight to Scizor, because it's a very nice multi-purpose switch. Not only do I threaten him out with a Bullet Punch, I also have the resistance to the Woodhorn, but Woodhorn? The Woodhammer. But, of course, he has a Magnezone on his team, so I'm not going to be duped so easily. I know he's going to go straight to Magnezone to try and trap me as soon as his Abomasnow switches out, so I'm going to be proactive in my cause. I'm going to go straight to my Heatran, and I am going to try and... I don't really know what I'm going to do here. I'm going to protect, because I know he's going to go to his Heatran, and my only offensive move is, of course, Lava Plume, so I don't want to give him the boost. I can't Toxic, because Magnezone is Steel and Heatran is Steel, and I can't Stealth Rock because I already have them on the field, so Protect was the only thing I could really go for, and it was really annoying because I knew Heatran was going to come in, but simply because Magnezone has Magnet Pull, I couldn't switch out on that turn, you know, because he had to switch out before. It's how Wobbuffet works, how Dugtrio works, how all these trapping guys work. You can't switch out until they have switched out themselves, so puts me in a little bit of an annoying position, but hey, it doesn't matter. So I'm going to protect here, trying to scout out what he does. And he's showing me he has Roar, which is very interesting. And it's good that I have Protect, because it helps me play the mind games. Now, generally what people do is if they see Protect, they know that the person is going to act on the move that they have seen used against them. Now, because I've seen Roar, he thinks I'm going to stay in, predicting him to go for the Roar again. Obviously, if I switched out and he went for a Roar, that would be bad for me, so I would want to stay in. But because I know that he's going to go through that thought process, I'm going to go straight to Gyarados, knowing he's going to predict me to stay in and go for Earth Power, dodge the Earth Power brilliantly with Gyarados, and manage to get off a Waterfall as he switches in Abomasnow as death fodder. So, definitely, in that sense, it's something that you should always look out for with Protect. Protect is a really useful scouting tool, and it can also be used to play the mind games against your opponent. So it's great to carry. You just need to carry it on the right thing. Heatran is definitely the right thing, and it works out to my benefit. However, in comes Mamoswine. Obviously, Ice Shard is going to kill me. But there is a silver lining, because I am able to scout as to whether he's a Choice Banded set or if he's a Life Orb set. And seeing that he is a Life Orb set, it means I'm kind of clued up as to what he's going to be able to do against me. If he can switch up and go for Earthquake. But that's not going to be an option for him when I have Terrakion in the wings. So Terrakion's going to come in and threaten him straight out into his Heatran. He, at this point, is very, very Terrakion weak. A lot of his dudes are weak to fighting, so he doesn't have a lot that he can switch in. Scizor is his main thing that he can switch in, but even if he switches that in, it's going to take a hell of a lot of damage. I can then switch straight to Heatran to dodge a Bullet Punch and, you know, go from there. But I managed to take out his Heatran. Scizzor's most likely going to be coming in here, and it's most likely going to be going for a Bullet Punch, because that's what Scizor does. Doesn't like to fuck around, just likes to kill Terrakion. But probably going to be a Choice Banded Scizor. If it isn't, then it may be a little bit of a situation for me if he wants to predict my switch to Heatran and go for a Swords Dance and then end up hitting me with a Superpower. That wouldn't be in my best interest, but thankfully he is just running his standard Choice Banded Scizor with a Bullet Punch, which means that Heatran is a very nice switch in. And the fantastic thing also about Heatran is that it works even better than Terrakion against this guy's team, because he's a Hail team, of course. He's not only carrying a lot of Ice types, he's also carrying a lot of Steel types, added to the fact that his Heatran is now gone, so he has nothing to take any fire hit at all. He has this thing, he has Mamoswine, and he has Scizor. So he's going to switch to Magnezone. That thing is going to die straight away from a Lava Plume. No fucking around there, just dead Magnezone, not even dealing with it anymore. But obviously he now has two things that can threaten me. He has Scizor with a Superpower with Choice Band, and he has Mamoswine, of course, with Earthquake. So I think Mamoswine is probably the thing that he's going to want to go to first, because it threatens Terrakion as well. Terrakion cannot safely switch in on an Earthquake, so I'm going to go for the Protect, and this is where Protect can kind of screw you over a bit, because now he's understanding how I'm using it. He knows I'm going to switch out here, not wanting to take another Earthquake, and he's going to go for the Icicle Crash on the switch. But the thing is, I didn't really actually care at this point. If he wanted to Earthquake, that would have been fine. I would have switched in Salamence, but if I'm honest, Salamence would have died from an Ice Shard the following turn. So he kind of wins the battle here, but in essence it doesn't make a difference, because me losing Salamence isn't sort of detrimental to my overall strategy for the end game, because what I really need is Terrakion and Heatran to be alive, because Terrakion threatens anything, you know, both Mamoswine and Scizor, and Heatran also is good to stop things when they're choice locked, such as Scizor being choice locked into Bullet Punch. So In comes Terrakion, and obviously he cannot take a Sacred Sword, so he's going to go into his Scizor. I honestly don't know why this Terrakion has Sacred Sword and not Close Combat. It is a Choice Banded Terrakion, so it should really have Close Combat, and it's going to bite me in the ass a little bit here, because it actually doesn't kill the Scizor. Thankfully, though, because he is running his own weather, Hail is going to take Scizor out for me, so that's really going to be to my benefit. I'm really going to have to switch up to Close Combat on this Choice Band Terrakion, but for now, it works out in the end. And his last, obviously, is Mamoswine. It works out, obviously, because he cannot kill me with any move. He can't outspeed me, unless he crits me with Ice Shard. Even if he crit me with Ice Shard, I would have lived that hit. And able to go for the Choice Band and Sacred Sword and take him out cleanly. So, there you go. That was the game. A very interesting one, actually. Some cool strategy going on there. Me having to kind of scramble about because I fucked up with Jellicent early game, and then I fucked up with Salamence with the Earthquake. So I had to kind of claw my way back into it, but I did manage to do so, and everything was all nice and rosy at the end of the game. So there you go. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed. You can leave a like if you enjoyed this video in particular. That would help me out immensely. Otherwise, you can check out all my other stuff on the channel. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.